What happens if most startups succeed in Kenya? The future Africa could build. What if this stopped being rare? What if Kenyan startups stopped failing and started thriving? Imagine a future where most startups survive, not just a few success stories, but thousands of growing companies creating jobs, solving problems, and building wealth. How would Kenya change? How would Africa change? And could the continent become one of the world's innovation powerhouses? Welcome to What Happens If? Today's question:
what happens if most startups succeed in Kenya? The first thing that would change is jobs. Millions of young Africans enter the workforce every year looking for opportunity. Successful startups would create employment at every level of society. Engineers, designers, manufacturers, farmers using technology, drivers, creators, entrepreneurs. Instead of asking who is hiring, young people would begin asking, what can we build? And that shift alone could transform an entire generation. If startups succeeded consistently, Africa would stop depending on imported solutions. Kenyan innovators would build products designed specifically for African realities, healthcare tools for rural communities, agricultural technology for local farmers, education platforms built for African students, payment systems that understand African markets. For the first time, Africa wouldn't just consume innovation, it would export it. Now imagine this happening at scale. Thousands of successful startups, billions flowing through local economies, new industries emerging, global investors choosing Kenya as a destination for innovation. Startup success wouldn't just create companies, it would create economic momentum, and momentum has the power to transform nations.
Africa has spent decades losing talent to the rest of the world. But if opportunity existed here, that story could reverse. Engineers would return, researchers would return, builders would return, and perhaps most importantly, a new generation would grow up believing that world-class companies can be built right here in Africa, not somewhere else, here. So what happens if most startups succeed in Kenya? Jobs grow, innovation accelerates, talent stays, wealth is created. This has been brought to you courtesy of Mindmoja Africa, the home of African innovation. Subscribe and join the movement.